Welcome back to Lifestyle of the Broken Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and today's episode is called A Poetic Soul. In today's segment, we will be entering the mind of a literary genius. Our guest today has touched my spirit with their words on several occasions. This talented poet can write, act, sing, perform, all while lifting up any soul she comes in contact with. Her words and thoughts are powerful and able to penetrate every heart with her equally strong performances. It is an honor to welcome to the show Nomxolisi Ndlangana, or for short, Nono. Hi, Nono. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
excited.
you for inviting me.
I am so excited to have you, Boo. And we have so much to discuss, so we're just going to get right into it, okay? So, Nomxolisi Ndlangana,
Yes.
born a native South African. Can you explain to the world who Nomxolisi is and what your childhood was like, what it was like growing up?
Yeah, so I am Nomxolisi Ndlangana, also known as Nono, or Nono the Poet, also known as the Queen. I have a different array of names over there. I grew up in a small town at the very tip of Africa and South Africa called Port Elizabeth. And they changed the name now. Now it's like I call it Tabeja. Yeah, good luck saying that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had I would say I had a dichotomous childhood. The first half was perfect, sublime, everything a child would want a childhood to be. I was a child, I was happy, life was easy. And then the other half was tumultuous. It was a nightmare. And that is South Africa for me. It's like these two extremes in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, depending on, what your childhood was. But
yeah.
That's intense. That explains,
Yes.
But it explains your depth and the way that you can exude emotion. I don't know. You do something spiritual to me, Boo. So it's like I get it. I can understand that. So when did you move to New York, and what was that transition like for you?
I moved to New York in 2008. I was just about to celebrate my 21st birthday, and it was one of the most exciting times of my life.
Yeah.
Because I had dreamed about moving to New York, and I mean, for years, for as long as I could remember, and it was finally happening. To me, it was like a movie, as I'm flying across, New York, I'm about to land in JFK. I'm like, whoa, I'm like having this whole moment on the plane and nobody knows, this is coming. This is my coming to America moment right now. And yeah, that's how that was. But that quickly turned into, oh my gosh, I might go back to South Africa. This was all a mistake.
Yeah.
But, still here.
Yes. I mean, New York does that to almost anyone that enters the city. Like, you can be a New Yorker, but if you go and enter that city world, it's like a whole nother mother.
Yep.
And she'll chew you up, Boo. It's intense. There's a lot of crazies out there.
I know.
So I get like that whole dream now of coming to New York. Was it a dream to become a performer in New York? What was that?
So, here's the thing. When I saw the vision as a child, I wanted to make an impact on a global scale. Okay. And the vision was, New York is where I'm going to do that. I have to come to New York. I don't know if I'm going to end up here. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is where I must come. Yeah. So I didn't know how it looked, how, I was going to have this impact. So I wouldn't say it was so much as to be a performer, but definitely to have an impact on a global scale with an artistic, of course, inclination, definitely.
So when did you first start to write? Were you always writing, and was it always poetry that you were writing?
Yes, so I mean, I've always loved English language because, I speak multiple languages, being Xhosa and everything. And I enjoyed English, but I think at 12 years old, that's when my grandmother died, who was like my mom. That's who raised me. That was the catalyst for it. Sort of woke me up to my writing, to my love for writing. And that's the first time I wrote my first poem. And it's titled Yesterday. And even when I still have it, when I look at it now, it was just like so juvenile. You can tell like a child wrote this. But, yet so sweet and deep all at the same time. It was just this little girl missing her grandma.
Oh.
I know. So yeah, that was sort of where it all started. Okay. And then the fire just grew.
Yes, it ignited it. But it takes a lot of people, I think that happens. I know with my writing, it definitely like took a lot of like trauma to ignite that again. I remember when I was younger, I used to write a lot. Yeah. I had like a lot of like deep, dark wounds that I couldn't really talk about. So that was my way of expressing. Right. And then as an adult, I sort of went back to that. It was either that or just, start doing hardcore drama. Yeah, or that. It was one or the other, boo. It was yes. I picked up the pen.
I need a healthy avenue if I'm not going to murder somebody.
Yes. No knife, pen. There we go. So then, who are some of your creative influences? Who do you sort of look at?
Iyanla Vanzant.
Okay.
Maya Angelou.
Yes.
These two people stand out. I remember Iyanla Vanzant. I don't know if you know her book, Yesterday I Cried.
No. But I'm literally making memos to myself.
Oh, okay. So that's one of my ultimate favorite books of all times, Yesterday I Cried, and it opens with a poem, and I think it's titled Yesterday I Cried. And, her writing is just, you see how I just, that's what it does.
Yeah. Okay. I'm already.
But I always, wanted my writing to do that. Like, I wanted to be able to take you to a moment, to a space in time where you feel something, and as uncomfortable as that moment is, it's absolutely necessary that you feel it.
I'm just gonna say, you just speaking right now is bringing me to a moment. I'm getting emotional. It's just the way that you express everything is so poetic, and you have a flow to everything. You're so wise. Let me tell you, I have your book, of course, but I don't do it justice. So I listen more to the Audible version because you need to be reciting it. Like, it just
I know. That's coming out. Don't worry. We'll talk about it later. But yes, I'm itching too.
Yes. So tell me though, what is your writing process like? Are you someone that like tucks yourself away in a cave, or are you out in public, out at like the cafe writing?
When I'm consciously, I'm going to write, yes, I tuck myself away, in my apartment, quiet place, maybe I probably know music, and just kind of, go there. But probably like 90% of the time, it comes when it comes. So sometimes I'm on the subway, sometimes I'm at work, sometimes I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
When it comes, you gotta go.
Yes, exactly. Jot it down because you don't want to forget it.
Right. I don't know. But you know what? I used to worry about that, about forgetting things. And I kind of let that go because it will come.
Yeah.
It comes.
Yeah.
So if that didn't make it out, it didn't make it out. But it's, the wheels are still turning.
I feel that. I feel like it's all about authenticity, not pushing something, because when you push or force, it sort of sounds forced, or it comes out like ingenuine. So yes, I agree with that. Sometimes you just gotta like let it be, and if it comes back to you, it'll come with more.
Yep, that's usually how it goes.
But then where does your inspiration for your work come from? Is it always personal, or do you like observe the world?
No, it's not always personal. In fact, it's probably 50-50. Okay. I don't think I've ever written one piece, maybe one or two, definitely not published, that have been completely personal. But for the most part, it's a collection of people's stories, you know, what people have told me, what I've seen. Also, people are very interesting to me. So sometimes I make up stories about them.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that.
You know, like on 125th and Lex in Harlem, I always wonder, like, you know, what happened? How did you end up here on this corner, you know, on your way to the sidewalk, but never quite making it? I really like think about those things. I don't, this is why I don't go out too much, because my brain is just, I'm doing too much. It's like.
But I feel you, because, so I'm going to be very open right now. I have this thing that I was writing. It was while I was temping for this real estate agency. And I was like, you know what? When I was a kid, I always used to think, what if you could just like hop into someone else's brain and just like, for a moment, just be living it out as them. Like, you know what's going on in their mind, but you're more in control. Yeah. So I started playing around with that, and I wrote like this like almost complete novel about that idea. So it's funny that you say that, because I'm always thinking like, oh, what is that person thinking? What is that person, where are they going?
like a creepo.
Yes.
I'm that person. Stalking. I'm worried about you. I was like, I wonder, you know, if they're gonna be okay. Yes. Stop it.
Oh my gosh, please, the elderly, girl, don't even get me started. Don't get me started. I will literally cry when I see one with a cart just walking with their groceries or laundry. I'm like, why? Where is the person that's supposed to be there with you?
Yep.
A mess.
Yes, I think you might be an empath, Eric. You might be an empath.
Oh, boo, I'm beyond. I'm telling you, I probably cry at least once a week watching something. If something on a commercial, oh my gosh. I don't know why commercials get me the worst.
I can't, that's why I can't do the news too much, you know, God bless Ukraine, but that stuff was killing me. I was like, oh no, I've got to shut it down.
Yeah, no, there's so much tragedy in the world. I mean, like, I like being informed, but I can only take the information. I don't literally like witnessing it. I'm like, oh God, PTSD me, Jesus.
It's like you're there. People don't get, when you're an empath, it's like you're there. Seriously. It feels like you're like walking.
Everyone is your family. Right? Everyone is your mother. It's like, God, please save her. We laugh, but seriously, like, we're on the verge of tears.
It's funny, we're not laughing at because it's funny. It's just like the absurdity of what it is to be an empath is what we're laughing.
It's very painful. It is very painful.
It really is.
That's why we're laughing, so we don't cry. But we are on a roll. I love it.
I know.
This is let's good interview. Talk about the baby.
Okay.
Soul Vagina, in between sex and God, who am I? The title alone. Like, when you first told me about it, I was like, jaw drop. Like, what is this gonna be? And I've had the privilege of seeing you like perform pieces from it live and listening to your Audible multiple times, because there's just like so many just capture you. I'm not even playing. So I'm so emotional right now because I really love your work and everything that you do. It really is like transformative, and I feel like you're talking about me a lot of the time.
I
am. But it's, and then at the same time, I get worried that you're talking about me. I'm like, did I hurt her? Did I do something? But no, that's how mesmerizing you are, seriously. So please just tell the audience a little bit about what this collection is and what it means to you.
I just want you to like give me intros once a month because my soul feels good right now.
Oh, I'm telling you, after that last conversation, I'm still on the verge of tears.
Okay, yeah, Soul Vagina is, it really is, it begins in the title, in between sex and God, who am I? So this is a woman's pilgrimage to really the core of her self-identity. Who is she? And she explores herself. She's, in this flesh, we're spiritual beings, I truly believe.
Yeah.
With these fleshly bodies, and she's experiencing all these things in this world and the other world. The spiritual realm and the natural. So you're feeling all these emotions physically, and then you're also feeling these, like a divine connection. So when you think divine, you think a connection to God, but then you understand that, all right, you're raised in the church, and then here you are doing the do, when you shouldn't be doing the do.
Feeling a new
but
type
yet
of
you're
divinity.
you're right, and then you're feeling these things that are so deep. So it's exploring all of that, and finding out who am I through all of that, in all these relationships.
Yes. And I feel like, honestly, and when I said that I relate to, I feel like anyone who can relate to their femininity can seriously relate to the poetry in this book. And I strongly suggest listening to the Audible, just because I feel like you tell it how it's supposed to be told, and then the way you break into song, it's beautifully done. So
Thank you.
How long was this process putting this together?
So I think putting the actual book together took about a year.
Okay.
Gathering the different pieces, because, I'm a writer, so I'm constantly writing. Yeah. So when it came to this book, I just had to decide, okay, I wrote a couple of new pieces, and then a lot of them were like, all right, I have all this body of work. What do I do? How do, what goes in, what stays out? What do I say for another thing?
Yeah. It's about the formatting too. Like, you want it to flow, and I feel like it flows perfectly. It's because I've read other books of poetry, and it's more like you're reading different pieces. This is more like it's a consistent story.
Oh, wow.
That was really well done.
Wow,
really
thank you for saying that.
I'm not just saying it because it's you.
I know.
I feel honored that it's you. So, no, but it's really well done. So
thank you. That was the intention, for it, because it is a story, it is a journey. Yeah. It begins somewhere, and it doesn't, when the book ends, it doesn't necessarily end, but that's where it is.
Yes. Yes. That's where it leaves you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Until the next book.
So have you found like that sharing your pieces like this, do you find it healing? Is it more anxious than anything, or do you find it like as a release?
Do you mean like performing them, or
not
publishing them?
I guess publishing them and performing them too, because performing them is like a whole different thing. That's like bearing yourself.
Right.
That's a whole
yeah.
So, go off, boo. Explain. How does it make you feel? So
it's funny because there are also pieces. There are certain pieces that are made just for written word. Yeah. I will never perform them. They're not written in that way. Okay. So once those are out there, I'm kind of done with them.
Yeah.
And it's there for you. You do whatever you get out of it, you know, it's all for you, which I love. I love how people will interpret it so many different ways. People will tell me different things that they felt about one piece. That's beautiful to me. That's a story, you know, that's 3-dimensional. And then as for performing, you know, it's like air. It's like taking in a breath of air, because I have such a love for people. I don't particularly like too many people.
Yes.
People are mean and annoying sometimes, but I genuinely have a love for people, and I'm, you know, concerned about your soul and your spirit. How is it doing, you know? Because if it's doing good, I have a better day. But I digress.
Wait, my friend, and he was on an episode, and he has this t-shirt. He says it's a, if your chakra isn't aligned, don't fuck with me, or something like that. Don't talk to me.
Basically.
Girl, exactly.
Basically.
Miss London Bambi.
So when I get up on stage, it's a conversation with an audience. The only thing is I just happen to be on an elevated platform and you're just a little bit, you know, lower down, but we're having a conversation, you know, you're listening to me and you're talking back to me with the snaps and the claps and the yes and the no and the oohs and the ahs. And it's just this beautiful interaction between people, you know, and everybody is left feeling definitely moved from one place to another, if anything.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Definitely cathartic, yeah.
Okay. I does it make you nervous though? Do you feel those nerves?
Oh yes. Okay, in terms of performing, you always have nerves. I feel like if you stop ever having nerves, you probably stop caring.
Yeah.
But the nerves they're not crippling. They're just like, this means so much to you. You know, you're so excited to share this with, you know, everybody. So it's those kind of butterflies. And so you can push through those. Those are just like, you know, but I mean, a lot of it can be vulnerable. In fact, it is. No, I mean, when you get up on stage, especially with the work that I do, it's just like, hey, we're going to keep it real. These are my rolls, these are my dimples, you know?
Yes, all of it.
But why I'm not afraid to do that is because I am clear that there isn't a human being alive who's perfect.
Yes.
So that's why I can get up on stage and tell the truth the way that I tell it. You know, because I'm sure you gonna poop tonight.
Yeah.
Or maybe tomorrow, just like me.
At some point.
At some point. You gonna poopy. Okay? You gonna need a tissue. Just like, I'm sorry. But you know.
I love it. No, but honestly, and that's what I think it is too. Like when you are honest, people come to that. People are, you know, empowered by that.
Right.
So I love it. I'm all about you. I'm the biggest fan of yours.
Thank you.
And speaking of another book before, can we expect anything new in the near future?
Yes. There's a lot. I don't know if I can talk about this, I think. There's a lot coming out. I do have a poetry compilation coming out.
Okay.
It is going to be, it sort of answers the first book, really.
Oh.
In some shape or form, yes. And I think a lot of people need to hear this. We're living some difficult times, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a little intense.
Save our souls,
it delivers with the story.
Save us.
I'm serving stories all day, boo, all day.
Oh, I'm excited. And then
I also have other children's books coming out too.
Oh, yes. We have to talk. We have to discuss this.
Yes. And also another book that I'm not going to mention right now. But yes, there's like a couple of things going on. Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited.
Yes. I mean, everything is like pretty much done. So we're just kind of like in the end stage.
And that's the hardest part. It's like when everything's all written, now it's the formatting, the editing, and then that is like a whole other nightmare. I thought it was just, you know, here you go. Here's my papers. Here's what I wrote. Weird, I learned.
In what world?
La La Land. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's so rewarding when you know, when the baby's there and you're like, woo, I sure worked hard for you.
Yes. And in the meantime, though, we do have your blog, bonesforyoursoul.com.
Yes.
I love the 2 pieces that you have up there so far.
Yes.
The second entry, Narcissist. Honey, woo, woo, oh my gosh. I felt my bones and my soul at the same time. That was very
Why is that?
beautifully written. It's just, it really hit home. That was very eerily relatable. And I feel like for anyone who ever feels like they might have interacted with a narcissist, yo, if you read this, it's like the guide to tell you, like, yeah.
This is exactly what I want everybody to read, because the narcissists are, it's like an infection, okay? An epidemic, a pandemic, all of it.
And it's the everywhere. Biggest one out there. The biggest one out there.
And if that's the case, a lot of people are sick. And I was sick, you know, and I mean that in a clinical way, you know, like a psychological kind of way. I was, you know, suffering because this is what they do. So when I wrote that, what you just said is what I was hoping for.
I love that. I'm telling you, I was literally like, what is happening? The reaction that I had, it was like visceral. I could not contain myself. It was intense. But so for you though, how does it feel to let all of that out?
Oh my gosh. You know, when I wrote that, it was already out. So there was a sense of urgency to get it out to as many, to spread the knowledge. That's what I was feeling at that time when I wrote that. Because I did the work before, and then I got to the place where I was like, what, let's go, let's get this out, you know, because I wish I had that information before. You know?
Because also with the way that you put it, you couldn't have been, I don't see someone who is, you know, in turmoil over a narcissist at the moment. It's someone who has recovered and could like relay that knowledge. And you are so perceptive because the amount of information that you put into it, it's like, I feel like with situations that I've dealt with, a lot of it has blacked out because I'm just like, it's too much. But that was so well done. So well done.
Thank you so much. I mean, that was an outpouring. That was just like, if I could just get one person. So I mean, I know I got a little bit more than one.
Well, bonesforyoursoul.com, everyone, I am telling you. And there's a new, okay, everyone, yes, bonesforyoursoul.com. Hello, I clearly need to get up on it. I'm a few days behind. But I love it.
I love you.
Anything that you do, I'm 100% there, so.
Likewise.
Now, before we get to the end of the episode, I know you've finished working on a very exciting project. I literally didn't even know this was like in your repertoire, like you had this under your bag, boo. But Dodoma the Movie. Can you tell us anything? Can you tell us like, what is this movie about? Where is this going to be available? Okay,
so Dodoma is the name of the capital city of Tanzania.
Okay.
But it can also be a person's name. In the movie, it's a person's name.
Okay.
And it's basically, it's a love triangle. It's a love story. It's an African love story. Because that has its own spice, trust me.
Oh, okay. I'm like, first of all, anyone loves a good love triangle.
Yes.
And a little spice to it.
Oh,
okay.
Yes. Throw in some African spice, quite dramatic. And I'm the best friend to the main character, who's Dodoma. She's the one in this love triangle. And I'm, ride or die best friend. That's me.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes. In November 5th, it premieres.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes.
My brother's birthday. That's a good day.
Yes, it has been in my repertoire. I think I just kind of ignored it a little bit, not gonna lie.
So what was filming like? And then you were in Tanzania, so was that your first time in that area?
It was my first time, yes. My first time in Tanzania, if you've never been, my goodness. Forget Greece, forget Seychelles, like you've got to go to it's
oh my God.
The beaches, everything is just, when something is so naturally beautiful, it almost looks like a painting.
Yeah.
That's
like, who did
during
this?
the day it looks like a painting. At night it looks like a nighttime painting. I'm like, what is this? The people are so lovely and nice and kind. Let me just say this. Everybody on set, from the cast to the crew, to the actors, everybody, I think we all understand we'll never have working experience like that ever again. It was a once in a lifetime type of situation. We all went there, people coming from different places, different countries to shoot this movie. Yeah. And we all went there with this idea, okay, we're doing a job, right? Just a gig. But what transpired was just this connection of people and love and learning and light and love and learning. It was just, beautiful.
I imagine anything with Nono involved is that. No matter what, I am going to find a way to watch it, and we will figure this out.
Oh yes. So, we're still working on where it's going to stream.
Okay.
Cross-out fingers for Netflix, because put it out there.
They've been doing a lot more international, and they do have a lot of international. I feel like they have Netflix Africa, because they have Netflix UK, Netflix everywhere, whatever.
Yeah.
Their own network. I guess that's what I don't even know how they identify their own streaming network in different countries.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because everywhere has their own production companies that they want to have their films available.
Yeah.
Like that. So there's a way. There will be a way. I need to see my baby. Oh, yes. I'm so excited about that. And you looked amazing. It just looked so cool, and I'm so happy for you.
I'm so excited. Honestly, I can't wait. This is what I'm gonna be. You're going to see me in a lot more movies, so get ready.
My baby. Oh, I'll be the first one in the paparazzi line with the sign, "Hey girl, remember me?"
Eric, stop it. I was just
get over here, bitch.
I just had drinks with you last night.
But baby, I have to say, congratulations on everything. I'm always keeping my eye out on you. I'm so happy with everything that you do, because you are just the embodiment of what the human spirit should be. And I literally love you to death.
I love you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. Let me just say this. I'm so excited for this podcast. I'm so proud of you. I feel like this is exactly what you should be doing. Do not stop. I want you to hear my voice when you're discouraged and defeated and too broke to do an episode. Hear my voice. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
It's engraved, boo. That's it. That's it. Ingrained in the back of my mind forever.
If anything, I'll just call you.
That's it. Just remind me. Bitch, I haven't heard an episode in a minute. Where you at? Thank you, baby. Thank you again for tuning into another episode of Lifestyle of Broken Creative Podcast. A special thank you to my wonderful, extremely talented and beautiful guest, Nono. From the moment I met this beautiful soul, I knew I was in the presence of greatness, and I am so grateful to share her with my audience. For more about Nono, follow her on social media at Nono the Poet. Don't forget to show her support by visiting her blog on bonesforyoursoul.com and purchasing her book, Soul Vagina, In Between Sex and God, Who Am I? Available at many online retailers in hardcover, softcover, and ebook formats. Also available in Audible format, read by the one and only Nomxolisi Ndlangana herself. Remember to spread peace, love, and happiness, and always be creatively you.